This middle-aged guy never in a million years would have guessed that the sweet, innocent cashier he'd been crushing on and the smoking hot woman who bummed a cigarette break with him were actually the same person. See, the cashier always wore a band-aid over her ear during shifts, and that tiny detail was enough to throw Leo completely off. Leo was a 40-year-old single corporate drone whose daily grind was as dull as it gets. Bowing and scraping to his boss was just another part of the routine. His one saving grace was swinging by the convenience store after work every day. On the surface, he was there for beer and chips, but the real reason was to see the angel working register number 2. Sophia was a quick, efficient cashier with the sweetest smile you've ever seen. Just a few minutes of chatting with her was enough to wipe away an entire day's worth of stress and exhaustion. But after leaving the store, Leo couldn't help kicking himself for blowing so much money his place was already overflowing with snacks. He'd thought about giving the stuff to Sophia as a gift, picturing how happy she'd look receiving it. But then he caught himself a guy his age doing that would come off as a total creep. The next day, his boss chewed everyone out over some made-up excuse, and thanks to the boss's own screw-up, the entire team had to stay late for a meeting and pull extra hours. By the time Leo dragged himself out of the office, he was running on fumes. He cursed his boss under his breath. Moments like these were exactly when he needed to see Sophia the most. But to his dismay, the person working the register that night was some older lady. His mood instantly hit rock bottom. Feeling miserable, he pulled out a cigarette to take the edge off, only to get dirty looks from passers-by. Turns out there was a no smoking sign right next to him. He wandered around the area but couldn't find a smoking section anywhere. Just then,
おじさん、こっちこっち。ここならタバコ吸えますせ。
his spirits lifted in an instant. But this was the back door of the supermarket where Sophia worked. Was it really okay for an outsider to be hanging around here? The woman told him not to overthink it and even motioned for him to take a seat on one of the shipping crates. Leo finally pulled out his cigarette, took a deep drag, and let the entire day's tension melt away. He glanced over at the woman and thought she didn't really look like a supermarket employee. He asked which section she worked in. Turns out this girl was a real smartass. She took his lighter, lit her cigarette, and asked if he was that guy who always lined up at register 2. Leo tried to play it off as a coincidence, but she saw right through him after all. Even when every other register was wide open, he'd still wait in Sophia's line. Leo had no comeback for that. She asked him flat out if he had a thing for Sophia. He never expected anyone to pick up on his little secret, so all he could do was sit there red-faced. But the woman said it was perfectly normal. Sophia was adorable and had a great figure. Leo quickly jumped in to defend himself, insisting he wasn't some guy just after her looks. Sure, maybe he was a bit of an awkward older dude, but all he really wanted was to see Sophia smile while she worked. That alone was enough to recharge his batteries. Hearing this, the woman said she could relax now. She'd been worried that some weirdo had been eyeing Sophia, since way too many guys tried to make moves on her. She leaned in close to Leo and told him she hoped he'd keep being a gentleman. Then she said goodbye and headed off. The next day, Leo was back at the convenience store. He thought to himself that the woman from last night seemed like a really good person who genuinely cared about her coworker. But what he didn't see coming was Sophia suddenly calling him by name at checkout. Totally caught off guard, Leo asked how she knew. Sophia explained she'd seen it on his rewards card and that her friend Emma had told her the night before that he was her biggest fan. She said it honestly made her really happy. The moment those words left her mouth, Leo's face turned beet red. He paid as fast as he could and bolted out of there, silently cursing Emma for spilling his secret. But seeing the look on Leo's face only made Sophia more excited. She slipped out to the back of the supermarket, hoping he'd come by the smoking area again. Leo, of course, had absolutely no idea.